Hi, I'm Christian. Welcome back to another On the Road video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for proper voltage. Today we're working on a GE side-by-side refrigerator. The customer's complaint is that the unit will not dispense water or ice after she tried to self-defrost the actual water line in the freezer door. So she had a hairdryer pointing up into the actual dispenser area, and as you can see, the actuator is now bent to the side a little bit. So I already had taken it apart and diagnosed that the actuator is melted a little bit, and same with the housing. So to begin the repair, we do have to access the back of the actual user interface. The tools you will need to complete this repair are a pair of needle nose pliers, a small flat blade screwdriver, and a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. To begin the repair, we want to lift up on the front part or the bottom part. To begin the repair, we want to lift up on the bottom part of the user interface. Be careful because it is a little brittle. We'll just lift towards us, just like that, and we'll slide it down. We now have access to the Molex connector. Now we're going to disconnect the 3 Molex connectors by pulling straight off. And the last one. We'll set this aside. Next step is to remove the 4 Phillips screws that are in each corner. We can now pull the dispenser assembly out towards us, feed the wires through, and we can now set this down so we can remove the microswitch and the light. Now we can see where the actual actuator and the housing got melted a little bit and bent out of place. So the first step we're going to do is remove the actuator from the left side or your right side. We'll lift straight up, remove the actuator spring. We will have to set that on the new actuator. Remove the actuator. Now we have access to the light and the actual microswitch. So to remove the microswitch, we're just going to flex these 2 tabs out of place. Just like that. And we'll set it aside. And then to remove the light, we are going to flex these 2 tabs in on each side and push through. Before we do that, we are going to remove the 2 spade connectors for the light. We can now push those tabs in. Let the light fall through and set the old dispenser shield housing aside. First thing we're going to do is pretty much in reverse order of the uninstallation of these 2 parts. We're going to first reinstall the lights through the actual opening here. We'll line it up. And this is our new dispenser housing. We'll push through until it snaps into place, just like that. We can now reconnect our 2 spade terminals. Now one terminal is wider than the other. Looks like we have the red one is 1/8 of an inch. So it's going to go on the left side. And the right side is 1/4 inch. And we'll just push them right on. We'll reroute our wire. And then now we can reinstall the switch. To reinstall the switch, we are going to line up the actual switch with the actuator of the switch facing towards the top. We'll push it through, just like that. We can reroute the wires. Now we're going to install the new actuator. We're going to install the spring on the new actuator. Now each tab on the actuator is going to get slid into these two slots with the two clips. So be careful when you're bending back the clips. They can break because they are plastic. So we'll do the left side first, and then the side with the spring. When we do the side with the spring, we're going to flex the spring back to go on top of the dispenser shield housing. That way it gives it tension. So we'll line up the spring, then we can pull back on the tab here and slide the actuator into place. Now because of the spring, you will have a little bit of tension. That way when you push the dispenser back, the actuator, it flexes back into its original position. Now we're ready to reinstall our new dispenser assembly. To do so, we're gonna line up the dispenser assembly and line up the wires. Slide the dispenser assembly back and then re-secure it with the 4 Phillips screws we removed earlier. Once that's done, we can now reinstall the user interface. We'll line it up, reconnect the 3 Molex connectors. We're going to push directly on. And now they are keyed and they can only fit in one actual area. Once all the wires are back in place, we can now insert this groove into the actual slot here on the housing. That's what will actually keep the top of the user interface in place, and we'll just push the bottom until it snaps. Once this is done, this will complete your repair. Thank you for watching another quality in-home repair video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.